The first thing that a baby does when it's born is cry. Why? I don't know.
Breathing is a huge part of being alive. Just think about it. The average person takes between 12 to 20 breaths per minute. For math purposes, let's say 16. That's 960 breaths an hour, 23,040 breaths a day, 8,409,600 breaths a year, and if you live to be 90, that's 756,864,000 breaths. You'd think after all that breathing we might have learned to master it, right? Well, here's a perfect example of deliberate practice. What Jeff Colvin wrote about in his book, Talent is Overrated: What Separates World-Class Performers from Everybody Else. We go through life taking breaths over and over again, never really trying to deliberately breathe. In martial arts, the first and most obvious way we control our breath and breathing is through the ki. It's an expression of the breath to force the martial artist to exhale when performing movements. In Aikido, Kokyu, or the way of the breath, is the most fundamental technique and is incorporated into all of the other techniques. But how does that help you in daily life? Do you have to be a martial artist to understand how to harness your breathing to improve your life? Well, I'd love to say yes. You have to sign up for my Aikido class at the Texas Rock Gym so that you can learn and master the way of the breath. But that would be a blatant lie. Breathing exercises are pretty much an important part of all high physical and mental level activities. Let's take rock climbing as an example.
Breathing is absolutely important, and a lot of it is because when you're climbing, your heart rate starts going up, and so sometimes your body wants to switch over to a sympathetic zone where you're in this fight or flight zone, and it is scary because sometimes you look down and you're like, oh my gosh, I am very high up. So one way that you can kind of change and kind of get through that is to start quieting your breathing. And so you start kind of switching more into the parasympathetic, which is more the rest and digest system, where your body isn't as tense, but you can kind of relax a little bit more and then focus more on your next technique and your next hold. So especially when you're on a tough move and it's really hard to get to, what I like to do is I like to start thinking about my breath work. So I'll just count in about 4 seconds and out 4 seconds and focus on that before my next move. Therefore, I reserve my energy and I have more power for my next move.
Occasionally I do some breathing exercises whenever I'm stressed out. I do yoga. Usually when I'm going to bed, it helps relax me and eases the stress.
Yeah, breathing is definitely important through all aspects of sports. From the cardio and soccer all the way through even power weightlifting, breathing is super, super important. With that being said, different styles of breathing occur in different sports. And when it comes to climbing to me is more of a weightlifting kind of breathing, where you're doing powerful moves, and in powerful moves, you gotta get that breath in before you do the move and then really exhale and power through that. Similar to when you do a bench press, you breathe in and you push up, you breathe out. So it's similar in that aspect. You can hear Adam Andra do his yells. Yelling is just breathing. So that's a good reason to just really to scream and to vocalize. It's a way to breathe while you climb. And breathing while you climb is definitely important, just to keep the blood oxygenated to be able to do what you need to do. The more I concentrate on breathing while I train, the better it's gone into my actual climbing hard, and then I'll be able to use that to climb harder. So I can't say it's been, that's the one thing that's pushed me to the next grade, but in combination with other things, it's definitely helped me push grades.
So how do you go about learning to focus your breathing? It's pretty easy. And there are tons of videos out there, each with its own technique and method. But the science behind it, the one that says focusing on your breath has overall positive effects on both your mental and your physical health, is pretty sound. To start off, just sit down, relax, and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Breathe out through your mouth for 4 seconds. And repeat. Do this for like 5 to 10 minutes. This is called box breathing. If you want to make it more difficult, then try breathing in through your nose for 5 seconds. Hold for 10 seconds. Breathe out through your mouth for 25 seconds. Then hold for 10 seconds. And repeat. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes. When you're done with that, watch my video about breathing exercise. I'll link it in the description below. I made it a while ago and probably should update it pretty soon. Anyway, what does focusing on your breathing do for you? It activates the relaxation response. Deep, controlled breaths send signals to your nervous system, triggering the release of calming hormones like serotonin and GABA. This puts the brakes on the fight or flight response, lowering your heart rate, easing your muscle tension, and inducing a sense of tranquility. It sharpens your focus. When you focus on your breath, your mind naturally quiets down. Distracting thoughts fade away, replaced by laser-like concentration on the present moment. This allows you to approach stressful situations with great clarity and composure, preventing them from spiraling into an anxiety vortex. And finally, it boosts your well-being. The benefits of regular breathing exercises go beyond mere stress relief. Studies have shown them to improve sleep quality, enhance mood, and even strengthen the immune system. Essentially, you're giving your body and mind a mini vacation every time you take a mindful breath. Remember, consistency is key. Just like any skill, mastering your breath takes practice. But with a little dedication, you'll soon find yourself navigating the daily grind with newfound calm and resilience. So take a deep breath, release the tension, and let the ancient wisdom of the martial arts guide you towards a more peaceful you.